In this video, I bought an electric car for £400. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And in this video you join me in 2008's answer to the Tesla Model 3, which is an Aixam Mega City Electric. And you're going to ask me what the hell that is. Let's have a look. So as you can see, it's a little French excuse for a car, technically a quadricycle, that you'd normally find with a 400cc Kubota diesel engine fitted. In this case, we've got 12 lead acid batteries under the seats and an electric motor. A very primitive form of an electric car, and probably got much more in common with the Renault Twizy than the Tesla, so I do apologise for the clickbait title, but it's definitely the only chance I've ever had of featuring an electric car on this channel. I can't afford even an early Nissan Leaf because they still change hands for actual real money, whereas this one, let's say it was 400 quid and was described by the previous owner as the world's shittest electric car, which I don't think is far from the truth. As you can see, the front bumper is missing, it's in the back. This is very much an unfinished project that I think tested the resolve of the previous owner to breaking point, and he decided he'd had enough of it, needed rid of it, and that's where this idiot stepped in to take it off his hands. It drives, just about. So in here is fairly simple. We have a big speedometer in the middle, which has kilometers per hour on the outside in typical French screw the rest of the world fashion. Very simple. Now, not much of this seems to work. Not much of the instrumentation seems to work. So with the ignition on, we don't get any lights on the dash. And if I turn the ignition to the... So we have two positions. We have ignition and then the one that looks like it turns on the electric drivetrain. So it's where you'd normally turn to start an internal combustion engine car. If I do that, we have a click. And then it goes back to making the noise it was making before. And if I then put it into drive, it moves forward reasonably quickly. Now slowly. And reverse. So it does work. I don't have much room in here, I can't go very far, but it does work. But we don't have any sign of life from the instrumentation, any indication of what state of charge the battery's in or anything like that. And turn it back off. And see the dashboard's been kind of hacked about as well. Guessing there probably used to be a hazard light switch there. Seems to be missing. So there's going to definitely be a fair bit of work to do in here, because that'll definitely be an MOT issue. And we have some comedy plastics in this interior. I mean, it's like an old dustbin lid or something. Look. I mean, I've seen some cheap interiors in my time, but you know, look at that. I mean, yeah, we're not talking about a quality product here. Be interesting to know how much this thing cost when it was new, but a cigarette lighter's still here. Looks like it's been used as well. You probably need a smoke after a journey in this thing. So, the previous owner tried to replace the original Aixam charger with an aftermarket electric car charger, which was rated for a 48 volt bank of lead acid batteries, which is what we have here. But he found that it wasn't charging the batteries properly. So we now have a bit of a mishmash of aftermarket wiring and, you know, charging circuits, all that stuff. So I think what I'm going to do with it is try and put it back to standard and then look at the problem with the original charger. I'm led to believe the original charger cuts out after a certain amount of time. It looks like it's perhaps not cooling itself properly. The fans that are built into it don't kick in, so it gets too hot and it cuts off. So that's what we need to look at, as to why that's not working, why the batteries aren't charging. And I think that going down that route rather than continuing with the aftermarket route is probably the way to go, although I'm sure I'll be proven wrong shortly. But before we do that, I'd like to get to the batteries, I think, and see what kind of condition they're in. So it's 12 lead acid batteries. They're not too far removed from the typical starting battery you'll find under the bonnet of most cars. So I'm hoping that we can get to the batteries, which I'm led to believe is a real pain because they're underneath the seats and the seats are attached in some bizarre manner. I haven't looked into it too much yet, but we need to get to the batteries, test each battery in turn, and make sure that they're all performing as expected. The results with the aftermarket charger would suggest that perhaps one of the batteries, or more than one of the batteries, aren't in great health. So I think working out what kind of condition those batteries are in first and foremost is the most important thing. And depending on the result of that will depend where we go with this. Because it might actually be that we'd be better off replacing those batteries entirely with some modern lithium batteries from, say, like a Nissan Leaf, or I don't know how expensive Tesla battery modules are, but you know, they're obviously the sort of high density, high bang for your buck. And it might be that putting modern batteries in this thing and improving on the roughly 30 to 40 miles range that it has according to the brochure, so at least the 30 to 40 mile range it had when it was new, would perhaps be a good idea. But for now, I'm going to focus on getting it working as intended. So with the way things are, I can't even tell you what the mileage of this thing is. I'm sure if I looked up the MOT history I'd get a rough idea, but the gauges don't work, nothing seems to work. Not sure what's going on there. I'm guessing something's just disconnected, and when I start delving into the wiring, we'll be able to work out what's going on there. I think that it was cobbled back together in a hurry to get it moving enough to get it on a trailer so that it could be brought down to me. So I'm sure there's a lot to do in terms of putting wiring back where it's supposed to be and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure I'll get stuck into that. But for now, there's your introduction to the world's shittest electric car, the Aixam Mega City Electric, which, as I say, is 2008's answer to the Tesla Model 3. Yes, it's a clickbait title, but you know, it's probably the best 2008 had to offer, and it's certainly the best my budget can offer you. So, you know, if you want to see some electric stuff on this channel, this is all you're getting, because I don't have the money for anything else. So there we are. Join me next time when we'll hopefully be able to make some more sense of what's going on with the wiring with this thing. Maybe get some life into the clocks, and then start looking at those batteries. Thanks very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about this horrible little thing, or you want to see the hilarious video of me driving it once it's working again. Please do like and share this video. I'm sure we all know people that either love or hate electric cars that will equally find these videos quite amusing, I think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.